Why do they never go in for me? Hello everybody, back again with another tag, third one in a row. Seems to be coming thick and fast at the moment. Yeah, this one is courtesy of Sean over at SW Music Productions, I think that's the name of his channel. Sorry Sean if I got that wrong. But he put together a list of questions about Bowie commemorating both his birthday and his anniversary of his death, which both happened last week. And I thought, why not answer them? I'm quite a big Bowie fan, so let's have a go. Now, before I start this, I make no bones about it. Most of my favourite Bowie records are from the 70s. They're the ones I grew up listening to. That doesn't mean I don't like anything else. I think Earthling and Outside are both really brilliant albums. And so is Black Star and A New Day. And there's so many good songs and records from the last part of Bowie's career. But I've got to admit that most of my favourite stuff is from the early stuff. So here goes. So, question one. The first Bowie album you heard. Now, the first Bowie album I heard was courtesy of my dad. It was on tape. Now, this is the original tape. So he had a tape copy. I don't know why he had it. I never knew why he had it, apart from I think he liked Bowie, which is obviously good enough reason. But he had a tape copy of Diamond Dogs. This is that tape copy. I don't think it actually plays very well anymore, so I don't listen to this, but I still have this and I will never get rid of it. So the first album that I heard was Diamond Dogs. Probably why it's still my favourite, to be honest. Maybe it's a big reason for it, I don't know. I think it's an incredible record. The first Bowie album I bought, well, I don't know if I actually bought this or whether I got it as a Christmas present. Maybe sort of, I can't remember whether it was a present or I bought it with my own money, but the first one I actually owned was this one. So this is Let's Dance. I probably got this 84, because just as I was getting into Bowie about during 83, he obviously had the Let's Dance and China Girl and Modern Love were on singles, hitting the very top of the charts. So he was undergoing that commercial kind of renaissance at the beginning of the 80s. And this is a great record, absolutely great record. It's kind of like, I mean, it is a Nile Rodgers production. You can tell it's a Nile Rodgers production on so many of the tracks. But that doesn't detract from it. It's still a really terrific album. So many good songs on here. Yeah, great stuff. So that's the first one I actually owned. Right, number 3, favourite cover. I think like a lot of people, it's this one. I think a lot of people choose Aladdin Sane. It is an iconic cover. I mean, he looks absolutely incredible on that. You can't, I mean, that is just fantastic cover, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant. So there we go, that's my favourite cover. Right, 2 favourite eras. Now, I really struggled with this, to be honest. I was thinking, what would my favourite eras be? Now, I'm going to cheat a bit on this, probably, and I'm going to run. Now, it kind of, yeah, I am going to cheat a bit, and I don't really give a flying one, because I think this is my favourite time. So, although it's technically, I don't know, is it 2 eras? So, it's this run of albums is my favourite. Now, it can sort of consist of 2 eras. So starts off with glam, so you've got Ziggy, and then you've got the glam, more glam with Aladdin Sane. Then you've kind of got this, which is kind of the end of the glam period, where with Halloween Jack, running into this, which is his Plastic Soul era. I don't actually consider the one that came after this, Station to Station, as part of this. I think this has got a distinctly different American feel to this. So this kind of runs on, there's some of the feel on here. And I did a long video about this era Bowie. And I think this Plastic Soul era is incredible music. And I don't think it runs on, I don't think you can group, personally, I don't think you can group Station to Station in the same batch. because that's when he started listening to European music. You can hear the Kraftwerk influence coming through on Station to Station in a lot of places, and it's not Plastic Soul. This is a record almost on its own, but you can hear bits of it on here and on the live album. David, is it live? I can't remember which one it is. Incredible stuff. So they're my two favourite eras, the glam and the Plastic Soul eras. Right. Favourite Bowie opening track. I ummed and ahed about this. I really ummed and ahed about it. But I've got to go with this one, 5 Years. It's an incredible opener. Absolutely incredible. You just get drawn in by the story of Earth is dying, and it just draws you into the sort of the story of Bowie as Alien. Incredible opening song, the way it comes in on that drum beat, and the amount of gut-wrenching emotion that he actually gets out of it. I mean, he's not known for doing that, but I reckon his vocals are actually pretty on the ball, to be honest. And then it says favourite closing track. I actually would go for Rock and Roll Suicide. I think it just closes the album perfectly. It just presents a nice full stop to the album, and I think it just encapsulates what was going on the album. So yeah, so I would have the opening and closing tracks of Ziggy Stardust as my favourite opening and closing tracks of an album. There you go. Right, what have we got next? Favourite cover version. This will probably rile up certain fans of another band, but I don't care. I think this is probably the one that I thought was the best cover version that he did. So famously, he did a whole album of cover versions, and him and Twiggy both look amazing on this cover. Now the one I'm going to choose is actually See Emily Play. I love that version. I think it's the most Bowie-esque cover on the album. I think a lot of these covers are played like Let's Spend the Night Together, sort of supercharged versions. But on See Emily Play, he lets Mike Garson, I think it's Mike Garson, I'm pretty sure it's Mike Garson playing piano on it. I might be wrong. Please let me know if I'm completely off base here. But right at the end, you've got his kind of otherworldly vocals come in. You've got Mike Garson doing his usual piano antics, and it sounds magnificent towards the end of See Emily Play. I think it's really, really effective cover. So I would choose that as my favourite cover. Okay, the next question was favourite collaboration. Now this was really difficult. I thought this was a really difficult question. I'm actually going to go with this. So my favourite collaboration is probably this single, which is the This Is Not America single, which he recorded with the Pat Metheny Group. I think this is a lovely piece of music. Absolutely gorgeous. Really good Bowie performance, vocal performance. And it's a really good song. Pat Metheny was a jazz musician, and I've tried listening to some of his solo stuff. Not solo stuff, but his other stuff, and it's too meandering for me. But on here, I don't know whether it's being with Bowie that really pulls it around. But I just think this is a great song, really strong song. Now this I could have chosen as possibly the next question. The next question is favourite soundtrack song. This would be one of them. I was never a big fan of Absolute Beginners. I never was a big fan of that. I don't know why. It's not one of my favourite Bowie songs at all, and people seem to rave about that. I mean, I like it, of course I do, it's Bowie. But, I don't know. But my absolute favourite song that he did for a soundtrack is this one. And I don't know if you can see that, because I haven't got a picture cover on this. But this is the original version of Cat People, Putting Out the Fire, that he recorded for the film Cat People. Now this could be interchanged with the last one for the collaboration. I could have had This Is Not America for this question, and this collaboration with Giorgio Moroder as the collaboration question. But this is much better version of this song than the version on Let's Dance. It's a much more effective opening to the song, and I like the guitars better. I just think it's got a better pacing, just a better all-round version, and splendid Moroder production, really. So there we go. My favourite soundtrack song. Right, the next question is favourite Bowie track that does not get much attention. Now I'm going to go back to this album, which is Young Americans, and I'm going to go for the is it the second song on the album, which is Win. I think I've talked about Win before. I think I went wax lyrical about Win on a video I did where I sort of talked about Bowie's Plastic Soul era. I did that way ages ago, I think. I just think Win is almost a perfect song. I think it's an incredible performance. And I love choruses that are not over in one like slogan. I love choruses that just go on. So this is, I think, it's kind of a meandering song. It wiggles your way through. I see it as a little slinky, little wiggly waggly kind of song. And I think the chorus just becomes, every time I hear it, the chorus is just lodged in my memory. It's just lodged in my head for days afterwards. I absolutely adore this song. It's an incredible song, off an incredible album. This I remember when I first heard this album, and I didn't rate it that much, but the more I've listened to this album, the more it has gone up in my estimation, and I think it is just an incredible record from start to finish. I mean, Fascination could be another track that doesn't get the recognition. In fact, there's a lot of stuff off here beyond the singles. Right, Fascination, Win. In fact, that run of songs, Somebody Up There Likes Me, is another one. In fact, there's those 4 songs. In fact, Can You Hear Me? This deserves way more attention than it gets. I think this is an unduly neglected album, let alone those songs. So everybody, go and dig out your copy of Young Americans and go and listen to it, because it's bloody marvellous. Right, next one. What we got? Favourite album Bowie involved with? Well, this is a no-brainer, and it's not going to be Lou Reed's Transformer either. This is one of the finest rock albums ever created. Easily one of my, well, say top 20 records. Top 20 in my album ranking, which I will eventually get to. But it's this monster of a record. It's Raw Power. Anybody, I mean, Iggy's really slated Bowie for the mix on Raw Power. It was mixed with some production, I think, by Bowie and Iggy. So it was famously mixed by Bowie, and apparently Iggy hated the mix. He thought it was toothless, but then when Iggy redid it in the 90s, was it in the 90s? He just put everything in the red, and it sounds an absolute monstrously bad production job. This is much, much better. So anybody who wants to listen to this album should track down the Bowie mix of this. This is a monstrous album, absolute monster of an album. Only eclipsed by second Stooges album, Funhouse. This is incredible. So that's my favourite album that Bowie was involved with. Right. Favourite Bowie film? Now, some people have said that Bowie was basically a bit of a crappy actor. Yeah, he's not the greatest actor in the world, but he did an efficient job. I mean, he basically played himself as the alien in Man Who Fell to Earth, and that's a really good film. Great Nick Rogue direction on that. Bowie playing himself, basically, didn't really have to stretch himself. I love Labyrinth. I love Jared. I think I think Bowie just hams it up completely, and he's fantastic in that. But my favourite performance by him is actually from this film, if I just get the CD, because I've only got the CD soundtrack, is this one. So this is Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence. And I think Bowie he's not the main star in Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence. It's Tom Conti who's the main person. But when Bowie plays, I think, is it Major Jack Villiers? He's kind of like really restrained and understated, and I think it's probably his best performance. And I would say it's probably the best film that he's been involved with. It's an incredible film with an incredible soundtrack, beautiful soundtrack. So I would say the best film that he was involved with was Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence, easily. I think way ahead even of Man Who Fell to Earth, to be honest. And the book, I've read the story as well, The Sower in the Seed. Is it The Sower in the Seed? By, I can't remember what his name was. And I've just tried looking for the book and I couldn't find it. I know I had it somewhere, but I've lost it, it seems. Don't know. But anyway, that would be my favourite film that he's been involved with. What's the next one? Favourite of Bowie's influences? Well, to be honest, there's only one. There's only one possible answer to this question. I mean, yeah, he was really influenced by Little Richard. Really influenced by Little Richard, and there's stories of him sending off the pictures of Little Richard and getting them back, and he still had them right up to the time he died. But yeah, my favourite has got to be the Velvets. And this is the album White Light, White Heat. This is the alternative cover that it got reissued with in the UK during the 70s or the 80s. Can't remember. But he obviously covered this on the motion picture soundtrack. Ziggy Stardust, the motion picture soundtrack rather. He covered White Light, White Heat. So yeah, my favourite of his influences is obviously going to be the VUs. Incredible band. And Sister Ray. Whatever anybody says, I've heard people slate Sister Ray. Don't believe them. It's amazing. As is The Gift and the whole of this album. What a listen. Right. Right, favourite look. So the last question that I'm going to answer is his favourite look. And I was thinking so hard about this. I was thinking so hard what my favourite look is. I mean, and I just think he didn't put a foot wrong, to be honest. From his mod days in the 60s to wearing that dress on the cover of Man Who Sold the World, to his jumpsuit on Ziggy, to the lightning flash, to the Thin White Duke, to the European era, to the Ashes to Ashes video, to his blonde mainstream look on Let's Dance, and all the way through, like his look on Black Tie White Noise when he suited up. He just looked elegant, totally elegant, and just was in total control of his image. Whatever I think even more so than the music, he never put a foot wrong image-wise. He was a master, an absolute master at self-presentation. And no wonder he had exhibitions held about his wardrobe and stuff at the V&A, because it was incredible stuff. The way he just presented himself. And it was all part of his magic. And it's such a shame that 5 years ago he was taken from us, because I think he would still be spreading that magic now. So there we go, David Bowie. My favourite male singer ever. Absolutely loved him. He meant so much to me. And I remember the day he died, I was so cut up. But he still continues to mean such a lot, because he's left us with such a vast array of fantastic music. So there we go, my Bowie tag. Hope you all enjoyed that, and I will see you again soon, hopefully with something a little different other than a tag, but you never know, I might do another one, yeah? Ha-ha! So anyway, cheers everyone. Bye!